The world watches America's gun law debate with fascination and concern. The Second Amendment is a defining part of American identity, but it also fuels a passionate, often painful national argument. As 2026 begins, Supreme Court actions and state-level battles have brought this debate to a critical turning point. The decisions made now will influence not just the U.S., but global conversations about public safety and individual rights. For years, America has been a patchwork of gun regulations, some states strict, others lenient, creating confusion and legal challenges. The Supreme Court has recently stepped in, shaking up long-standing laws and forcing states to re-examine their approach. The outcome affects millions of lives and sends a message to countries grappling with violence and regulation. These legal shifts are rooted in a long, complex history, born from tragedy, advocacy, and deep political divisions. Cases in Oregon, Maryland, and Rhode Island are the result of years of effort from both gun rights and gun control advocates. The Supreme Court's involvement has raised the stakes, making every new law and court decision nationally significant. The new rules taking effect this month will test the boundaries of the Second Amendment in unprecedented ways. They will impact who can buy a gun, what firearms are legal, and where they can be carried. These changes are significant, affecting communities large and small. Understanding this new reality is essential for every American. This is a story about law, culture, safety, and the very definition of freedom in the 21st century. America's gun laws are the result of decades of legal battles. In 2008, District of Columbia versus Heller affirmed an individual's right to own a gun for self-defense at home. 2 years later, McDonald versus City of Chicago extended that right to the states. These cases sparked a wave of lawsuits challenging bans and restrictions nationwide. Courts reached different conclusions, creating a confusing legal map. In 2022, New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin struck down a New York law and set a new standard gun regulations must align with the nation's historical tradition. This history and tradition test has thrown gun law into chaos, forcing courts to act as historians. Now states like Oregon, Maryland, and Rhode Island are at the center of this fight. Oregon's Measure 114, Maryland's semi-automatic rifle ban, and Rhode Island's magazine ban are all being tested against this new standard. Courts are struggling to apply the Supreme Court's test, leading to today's uncertainty. The result, a nation divided, with gun laws in flux. The Supreme Court's actions in late 2025 were pivotal. By refusing to hear appeals from Maryland and Rhode Island, the court let lower court rulings stand, upholding strict gun laws in those states. Maryland's ban on certain semi-automatic rifles and Rhode Island's magazine ban remain in effect. Supporters say these laws protect public safety. Critics argue they violate the Second Amendment. Conservative justices dissented, claiming the court ignored its own Bruin precedent. The court's inaction didn't set a national precedent, but left different rules in place across the country. This circuit split means a gun legal in one state may be banned in another. The Supreme Court's decision to wait has left key questions unanswered, setting up more legal battles. The result, legal uncertainty and a patchwork of laws. Americans now face different rights and restrictions depending on where they live. The stage is set for further conflict. The nation waits for a definitive answer. January 2026 brings sweeping changes to America's gun laws. Maryland's ban on AR-15 style rifles is now firmly in place. Rhode Island's ban on magazines over 10 rounds is fully enforceable. Oregon's Measure 114 is partially in effect, with enhanced background checks now required. California tightens restrictions on ghost guns, mandating serialization and licensed sales. Washington state imposes a 10-day waiting period for all firearm purchases. Colorado raises the minimum age to buy any firearm to 21, while Texas now allows 18-year-olds to carry handguns. Michigan requires safe storage of firearms in homes with minors. A new federal rule reclassifies pistols with stabilizing braces as short-barreled rifles, requiring registration. The Department of Justice is prioritizing cases using the history and tradition test, signaling a tougher federal stance. Gun control groups praise these moves. Gun rights advocates call them unconstitutional. These 10 changes show a nation pulling in two directions, creating a complex set of rules for gun owners. The legal landscape has never been more divided. These new laws ripple through every part of American life, Politically, the Supreme Court's inaction has emboldened blue states to pass stricter laws, while red states push back, deepening polarization. Economically, gun manufacturers and retailers in states with new bans face declining sales and may relocate, while states loosening laws see a boost in the firearms market. The industry is now navigating a fragmented national market. Socially, stricter laws aim to reduce gun violence and increase public safety, but also create tension between citizens and law enforcement. Gun owners may resist compliance while others feel safer or more anxious depending on their state's laws. Polls show support for stricter laws is high, but sharply divided along party lines. The lack of national consensus means the debate is about more than laws. It's about how people feel in their own neighborhoods. The experience of safety or threat now varies dramatically by location. These divisions are among the most challenging consequences of the ongoing legal battles. The debate is not just legal, it's deeply personal. America's gun law crossroads is reshaping communities. The consequences are real and immediate. For everyday Americans, these changes are anything but abstract. In Washington, a 10-day waiting period means buyers must wait for home protection. Supporters say it saves lives. Critics say it delays self-defense. In Colorado, 19-year-olds can't buy rifles. In Texas, they can now carry handguns. Rights and responsibilities shift by zip code. The reclassification of pistols with stabilizing braces forces millions to register or modify their firearms, or risk felony charges. Safe storage laws in Michigan require gun owners to lock up firearms if minors are present, changing how people store weapons for home defense. These rules pit accident prevention against quick access in emergencies. The result, millions must navigate new regulations or risk becoming criminals overnight. The impact is felt in daily routines, family safety, and personal freedom. These are not just legal theories, they're practical, everyday decisions. Americans are adapting to a new reality, one law at a time. The stakes are high, and the choices are personal. The debate is lived out in homes across the country. Legal experts agree. The Supreme Court's Bruin decision is driving today's turmoil. Professor Joseph Blocker notes the history and tradition test is hard to apply. Judges aren't historians, leading to unpredictable rulings. Some, like Adam Winkler, believe the court is waiting to see how lower courts handle the new standard before stepping in again. Others, like Stephen Halbrook, argue the court is shirking its duty by letting bans on common firearms stand. The growing circuit split, idaos domi, different federal courts issuing conflicting rulings, adds to the chaos. Jonathan Turley predicts the Supreme Court will soon have to resolve these contradictions. The legal landscape is unstable, with no clear national rule. Experts warn that until the court acts, confusion will persist. The stakes, millions of Americans' rights and safety. The next Supreme Court decision could reshape the nation's gun laws. Until then, uncertainty reigns. The gun debate is far from over. The Oregon Supreme Court's upcoming decision on Measure 114 could reshape gun control in the Pacific Northwest. If upheld, it may face federal challenges. If struck down, it's a win for gun rights advocates. Nationally, new cases from Illinois and California are working their way to the Supreme Court. Legal experts expect the court will soon address bans on semi-automatic rifles and magazines. The 2026 midterm elections will make gun policy a key issue, with both parties rallying their bases. The outcome could shape gun laws for years through legislation or judicial appointments. America remains divided, caught between competing interpretations of history and the Constitution. The courts and politicians are locked in a struggle with no clear end in sight. Until the Supreme Court provides clarity, the patchwork of laws will persist. Americans will continue to live with the consequences of a nation divided. The next chapter is still being written. America's gun laws are complex, but understanding them is crucial. These aren't just legal debates, they shape community safety, rights, and national character. Being informed is the first step to meaningful participation. Individual voices matter. Citizen action has shaped gun policy before. Whether you support or oppose new laws, your engagement counts. Contact your representatives, join advocacy groups, or have respectful conversations in your community. The courts and politicians will keep debating, but the direction of the country is shaped by its people. Read widely, listen to all sides, and think critically about the kind of community you want. The gun debate reflects our deepest values and deserves thoughtful attention. Share your perspective. How do these laws affect your sense of safety and freedom? The conversation isn't going away, it's part of America's identity. Stay informed, stay engaged, and make your voice heard. The future of this debate depends on you.